8 months ago, it was all smiles at Priestfield as Martin Allen and Gillingham were crowned League Two champions. This season, however, they lost their sense of direction and Allen was sent on his way. Former manager Peter Taylor has returned to Kent in the hope of improving their fortunes. Last season, there was yet more misery for Wolves as they suffered a second successive relegation and 2 more managers paid the price. Now, Kenny Jackett is trying to rally his team to recapture their early season form, which made them gold-hot promotion favourites.
Wolves have turned on the power. There is ice in those veins. Wolverhampton Wanderers are smiling again.
Well, the dismal weather that greets us in Kent tonight very much reflects the recent form that both of these clubs are currently experiencing in the league. It's Gillingham against Wolves, live here on Sky Sports 1 and of course available through your mobile devices with Sky Go. Wolves remain in second place despite a different run in form of late. The favourites to return to the Championship may be feeling the pressure. Despite their managerial change this season, Gillingham remain just 2 points away from relegation. Results have improved under Peter Taylor, but his overall managerial record against Wolves is less than encouraging. Good evening from a very wet and cold Priestfield Stadium. The conditions, I'm sure, will be quite a challenge for the teams tonight. Joining me, I'm delighted to welcome the former Wolves goalkeeper Matt Murray. Matt, just how challenging are these conditions going to be for the players?
Well, when I arrived earlier, I thought, well, this could be difficult. You know, the wind was blowing, the rain was swirling, but now, to be fair, the ground staff have done really, really well. The pitch is all right. I think it will cut up, but the wind has died down and the rain's eased off us, so that'll make it a little bit easier, but it'll still be treacherous conditions for goalkeepers and defenders for sure.
Well, much hard work has gone on behind the scenes this afternoon to prevent this game falling foul of the weather. Referee Mark Brown had concerns about the amount of water on the pitch, but specifically the linesman's run on the touchline. We are glad to say that due to the incredible efforts from the Gillingham ground staff, the initial concerns have been overcome. Matt, have you ever known a situation where the conditions of where the match officials have had to be considered, where they're going to be, I should say?
I haven't, no, but I suppose the referee, you know, he has to come and he has to make sure everyone can do their job properly, and if it was going to be treacherous for the official and he couldn't run the line properly and make his decisions, then obviously you have to take that into consideration. But, you know, thankfully they've got it on, they've got plenty of sand down there, so I'm sure not many people really give the linesman that much thought, but, you know, he'll be able to do his job, and, you know, glad the game's going ahead.
Let's focus on Gillingham for now. 12 defeats already. How hard a step up has this been for them into League One?
Well, it's always going to be difficult. I mean, they ran away with League Two last year. They were excellent. They came up. They made a difficult start to the season. I don't think they won in their first 8. One of those was a big defeat, a heavy defeat at Molyneux. Then Martin Allen lost his job. Peter Taylor's come in and he steadied the ship a little. And I think that, to be honest, with the budget they've had to spend on their squad, they're doing okay. I think survival and staying in the league would have been their aim at the start of the season, and they look like they're going to achieve that.
Well, let's remind you of the form both of these teams are in present. 1 win in 6 for both sides. You may expect that from a Gillingham side who are at the bottom of the table, but why are Wolves struggling at the moment?
At the moment, Wolves aren't taking their chances, so they've drawn quite a few, 3 of the last 6, and, you know, the draw against Leyton Orient, they should have won the game. The draw against Tranmere, even though they went down to 10 men, still had creating enough chances to win the game. And if you're not taking your chances, and you know you're not going to win games, and with the firepower Wolves had, they should be winning more games. That's a Gillingham. Their home form hasn't been good enough, and they're going to want to sort of address that. And there'll be no better time to start it than against Wolves today.
Well, let's join David Craig with the Wolves manager Kenny Jackett, who's got some interesting comments on the inclusion of goalkeeper Aaron McCary.
Going into tonight's game,
the last 4 games we've won 1 and drawn 3, and they're thin dividing lines. Certainly the last 2 games, Tranmere and Leyton Orient, our football's been as good as it has been all season. But obviously it's wins that we want to maintain our position and keep up with a pace at the top of League One, which is considerable.
You've made 5 changes tonight. One of the notable ones, of course, is in the goalkeeping position. Young Aaron McCary comes in, having been brought back from loan on York City. What's going on there? What's the situation?
With our goalkeepers? Yeah, Carly Kimmy is injured and will be out for around about a month. Wayne Hennessy came in yesterday morning and said that he didn't want to play, which is disappointing as a professional, but we move on. And, you know, I can only think that perhaps there's a bid imminent, but from his point of view, it is a disappointing decision. But for Aaron McCary anyway, it's a very good opportunity. And it's a young man that I've got a lot of time for. I think he's an excellent goalkeeper and done very well in loan spells at Wolves Lge and York. So, you know, he's ready for his chance, and I'm sure he'll step up and do very well.
Talking about goalkeepers, conditions tonight here are very difficult. The ground staff have worked very hard to get the game on. How big a concern are they?
Yeah, the conditions are okay at present, but I suppose if the wind and the rain do start, then it will make it difficult. But right now it's okay, and we're looking forward to the game.
Kenny, wish you well.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
No better person to ask about the goalkeeping situation at Wolves than Matt Murray. What do you make of Wayne Hennessy's decision not to play?
I'm surprised. I know Wayne well, you know, as a young lad at the club when I was there. The way I'd understood it was that, you know, he didn't want to jeopardise a move, but the club didn't either. So they wanted, you know, whatever's happening, there's obviously a bid imminent, as Kenny Jackett has said there. So if his head wasn't going to be right, he was going to be maybe pulling out of challenges, then it was the right decision to make for him and the club, and young Aaron will come in and I'm sure he'll do well.
Yeah, what can he offer then, Wolves?
Well, he did well at this level for Walsall last year. He had his loan spell. He's just recently been at York, kept a clean sheet in his last game, so he's ready to go. He'll be desperate for the chance. He's an international player as well, but it's going to be difficult conditions for him. You know, it's greasy underfoot. I'm sure that McDonald will be, and Ked will be thinking, let's get some shots off at him. Let's test him out early doors, put corners under the bar, chase down back passes, everything else. But with the defence, some experienced defenders in front of him, he should be okay.
OK, coming up after the break, live action from Priestfields. Live football from Sky Bet League One tonight. We are in England's garden, albeit a little wet. Wolves are sitting in second place and have been less than convincing recently. For Gillingham, they're hoping to create an upset tonight and pull away from the lower reaches of the table. Facing an old footballing friend today is Gillingham manager Peter Taylor.
Peter, you and Kenny Jackett share a great friendship, but how much do you have to set that friendship aside this evening?
Well, I know how professional he is, so there'll be no mates on that touchline with Kenny, and so I've got a lot of respect for him. I think he's done a great job wherever he's been, and so we know it's a tough game. We know that the team will be very, very organised, but as you can appreciate, 90 minutes is manager v manager.
Both teams go into this game in a similar vein of form, but with different agendas. How concerned are you about your form at this moment?
Well, I think we're making progress, to be honest with you. We had a game here against Orient and a game here against Walsall, and we only got 1 point, but we actually could have got more. And I think that's showing progress, because you talk about those two teams in this division, they're doing very, very well. So I think we are making progress. There's still a lot more to do, but I think we are getting there.
Peter, thank you.
Pleasure.
They're making progress, he says, while our commentators at the Priestfields Stadium are Andy Hinchcliffe and Gary Weaver.
So after the double dip, Wolves are showing signs of recovery, but they're facing their first blip of the season. They were never going to just power through this league. They now have to keep their nerve on nights such as these. Let's take a check on the teams, and Danny Cadwell was due for hernia surgery yesterday, but that was postponed so he could try and torment Wolves tonight. He's their leading scorer, he has a real physical presence and will be looking to do some damage here. Craig Fagan was without a club until Gillingham offered him a deal a couple of months ago. It wasn't so long ago. He was playing in the Premier League with Hull City. The number 31 has a familiar name, Jake Hessenthaler. He's the 19-year-old son of Andy, who served Gillingham with such distinction as a player and then manager. Well, Wolves are without Carl Akimi in goal. He's broken his hand, and as you may have heard, Wayne Hennessy told Kenny Jackett he didn't want to start tonight, so Aaron McCary makes his league debut for the club. Injuries and suspension have hit hard at the back, with Ethan Ebanks-Landell and Richard Stearman both missing. George Anakobi makes his first league start since May. James Henry is fit, and Gillingham will have to try and keep an eye on him and Michael Jacobs, who will raid down the flanks and switch sides. Bakary Sacco moves inside to partner Kevin Doyle, who gets his chance from the off again. He hasn't scored in his last 10 games. Adebayo Akinfenwa will feel aggrieved to be on the bench tonight, having scored 3 goals in his last 2 starts. Wolves' leading scorer, Lee Griffiths, is once again on their bench. So Wayne Hennessy not wanting to start tonight, which means a league debut for Wolves. The 21-year-old Aaron McCary, he's been on loan at York City until yesterday. Andy, will he be feeling the nerves or relishing this tonight?
I'm sure he will be, but backup goalkeepers can wait an awfully long time to get an opportunity, and no matter how it occurs, Aaron McCary will fancy his chances. He is a quality goalkeeper. Kenny Jackett's a big fan of his, and he's just got to step up and play the game of his life.
Well, he was the backup to the backup, but no Wayne Hennessy here tonight. Looking to find a way past Aaron McCary is that man there, Danny Kedwell. He's the symbol of this Gillingham team. He used to stand on the Rainham end as a boy watching them. He lives not too far from the ground. He's a son of this town who's had to battle through non-league football to get here, and now he's battling through hernia pain to play tonight. How difficult is that?
It's very, very difficult, showing a lot of character, but he is Gillingham's key man, playing with this injury. They really do need his goals, Gillingham. He's got 10 already this season, and Kedwell's goals could easily prove to be the difference between Gillingham staying in League One or dropping out.
It's his birthday today. Peter Taylor, 61 years of age, and an old friend has turned up in Kenny Jackett. They work together at Watford, and both have different agendas at the moment. That man is trying to make sure Wolves go top tonight. Gillingham trying to stay in Sky Bet League One. They're looking over their shoulders right now, but that is no concern to Kenny Jackett at all. Well, these two clubs were separated by 3 divisions just over a year and a half ago. Now it's just over 20 points.
Well, Wolves are the biggest side in League One. They're there to be shot at every game that they play, and Gillingham will certainly fancy their chances. The champions of League Two coming up into League One. They found it difficult. A win tonight could be a big, big help to them staying in this division.
As you've heard, the conditions haven't been great here in Kent. And that will tell you everything. It was worse than that earlier. But the rain has stopped. The wind is still howling around this stadium. And those Wolves fans at that end, and they once again have a great following, will be hoping that the rain doesn't come back, because there's no roof on that stand.
Well, you have to play to the conditions. I'm sure the managers have spoken to their keepers and their defenders. Do not make mistakes in these conditions. If the ball is there to be cleared, put your foot through it.
Gillingham to get us underway here. This is the golden ticket, the only ticket in town tonight. Wherever Wolves go from Cumbria to Kent, they are the star attraction, the scalp, the club that everyone wants to bring down. And they're getting used to that. Gillingham, the latest to take them on here. The summit of Sky Bet League One is in sight again for Wolves. Win here, and they will elbow Brentford out of the way. Looking for a fast start with Kevin Doyle. Wolves have been starting games quickly of late. There's James Henry. He's been a big player for Wolves since Kenny Jackett signed it from Millwall. That move has now been made permanent. That's Ricketts. Kevin Doyle. Pursued by Gregory, who does that job really, really well. What Gregory does go under the radar. He's the man who breaks up attacks, tries to get Gillingham on the move.
Well, we might just see this in the early stages. Wolves keeping the ball well, and Gillingham getting bodies back behind the ball, defending in numbers, and then when they can't, trying to release Danny Kedwell with those long forward balls. We've just seen that on a couple of occasions. They'll get the ball forward quickly.
Was after that, likewise at the Kobe, and that's the first test for Aaron McCary. It came from Craig Fagan.
Well, it's not the cleanest of strikes, but at least it's a bit of handling practice for the new goalkeeper, and that's what he'll want, an early touch just to build up his confidence. He's never going to be beaten by this shot, and it's a comfortable save.
Good to see Fagan playing again, though. He was training on his own in the summer, as so many players do these days without clubs. He's on the phone to many managers asking for a trial, and Gillingham gave him a chance. His future, though, is in the balance. He's on a deal here until the next week or so. So a chance to impress tonight. Bakary Sakho. And there's Edwards. Sakho again. They won't want to stand off Sakho because he will do that.
Well, this is why Bakary Sakho is such a good player in this division. He's an intelligent player, not playing out wide tonight. He's playing in field just off the strikers. You can't give him time and space to shoot from this type of range. No one closes him down. Just the angle of the shot takes it past the post.
Interesting month, maybe on the way again for Bakary Sakho. Nottingham Forest were in hot pursuit of him in the last transfer window. Two clubs couldn't agree on a fee and the structure of the deal, so he's still a Wolverhampton Wanderers player for now.
I've been really impressed with his attitude, because many players would have maybe got upset that they didn't move on. He's applied himself, as Wolves had really as a squad, but he is an individual player who probably believes he can play in the Championship. He's really knuckled down and played exceptionally well for them.
Scott Goldborn operating at left back again tonight for Wolves with a throw in. He's one of the local boys, Danny Bart. Now James Henry. Wants to run here at Joe Martin. He's smashed away by Leon Legg. Jacobs on loan from Derby County. Says he's an entertainer, and he has been entertaining Molineux since he made the loan switch. Sam Ricketts shown inside, and Ricketts taking aim. Second shot of the night from Wolves. The second one which has flown wide.
It's the second one where no one has really closed down a Wolves player. We saw it with Sacco, now with Ricketts. He travels a long way, and no one in a blue shirt is getting anywhere near close enough. If he strikes this cleanly and on target, Stuart Nelson has a problem.
Well, after what's gone on at Wolves in the last couple of years in terms of player unrest and the atmosphere around the dressing room, Kenny Jackett could do without his goalkeeper turning up and saying he didn't want to start here tonight. Wolves are paying Wayne Hennessy's wages. Wayne Hennessy obviously has his own thoughts on it. What do you make of it?
Well, I think if a player says he doesn't want to play, Gary, and manager simply can't put him out there because you're not sure what you're going to get. But I think there's more to maybe come out with this story, the possibility of Hennessy moving on and Wolves getting off the wage bill.
Tonight is Mark Brown, right on the scene there, foul by Hessenthaler Jr. Made his debut earlier this season. Jake Hessenthaler has some way to go to match his dad's tally of games. He played until into his 40s, Andy Hessenthaler. Hessenthaler Senior in attendance here, a player under Peter Taylor, first time around for Peter Taylor, then a manager, and now he's watching his son. He's scouting for Burnley at the moment as well, who are going well in the Championship. Danny Bartender. Nice touch by Bakary Sacco. There's Ricketts. Henry once more. Now Kevin McDonald, who can be the driving force from midfield for Wolves. Hessenthaler running into Fagan. Misses Edwards. Goldborn. McDonald. Ricketts once more. It's good shape about Gillingham here. It's Martin.
Gillingham are working hard, defending in numbers. They're playing with a central midfield three. I think one of those three, either Hessenthaler, Gregory or Lee, has to get close to Kevin McDonald. He's playing as virtually the quarterback for Wolves. He'll just drop off. He's always available. And one of those three key midfielders for Gillingham has to get close and stop him, really influencing the game as he is.
Wolves have found wins hard to come by lately. One victory in their last 6. That's the first wobble under Kenny Jackett. Looking to steady themselves. They drew against Tranmere Rovers on New Year's Day. Equaliser, well taken equaliser by Dave Edwards, who's in the way there. There's Jacobs. Ricketts, man for all positions for Wolves, whether it's right back, left back or centre half. Now Bakary Sacco. Edwards again. Not being able to take the ball with him. McDonald. Henry. Just smuggle it through for Michael Jacobs. Belted away by Charlie Lee, and Cody McDonald, who is quick, but not that quick, trying to latch onto it.
Here's the problem for Gillingham. They're defending in so many numbers that when they do pick the ball up in deep defensive areas, there's only really McDonald or Kedwell up the field, and the quality into the strikers has to be spot on just to relieve some of the pressure that Gillingham are under.
Well, Wolves, the architects, maybe of their own downfall there, and Cody McDonald with a strong challenge as Wolves played themselves into trouble, but get themselves off the hook. Bakary Sakho. This is Jacobs. Henry. Nicely away from Charlie Lee. It's a dangerous ball in. It was met by Jacobs, who managed to wriggle some room inside that penalty area. Great chance for Wolves.
Well, we're going to see it time and again. They're dominating possession, Wolves, so the midfielders can break forward at will, and it's a difficult chance actually for Jacobs. It looks easy because he's so close to the goal, but he's on the stretch trying to judge the bounce, and that's not easy to score from there.
Great ball in though from Henry. There's Fagan. Oh, it's Bakary Sakho. Looking for an offside flag, which hasn't come their way. Goldberg. Watched all the way on the far side by Gregory. Goldberg eventually runs out of pitch.
You can see how far forward the two Wolves fullbacks are playing, and that's because they're dominating the ball in central midfield. The fullbacks can go and join in, knowing they're not going to have to run 60 yards back and defend. So the wide players, Jacobs and Henry, can go and join in different areas. So there's a flexibility to that Wolves attack, and Gillingham really struggling to contain them in the early stages.
Big part of how Kenny Jackett likes his teams to play, both fullbacks really advanced. But closed down quickly by the ever-willing Cody McDonald. Wolves played on New Year's Day at Tranmere. Gillingham's game at Stevenage was postponed 2.5 hours before kick-off because of a waterlogged pitch. So their last game was a 2-2 draw here against Walsall, and Cody McDonald scored an absolute blockbuster that particular day, an overhead kick from just outside the penalty area. He's becoming a threat again, the Gillingham number 10. Gregory looking to keep Doyle at arm's length. Harriman. Hessenthaler. McDonald. Hessenthaler again. There's a really good pass of the ball, Jake Hessenthaler. There's a really good range about him, just too much on it that time. It's been a strong start by Wolves.
Absolutely, Kenny will be delighted with the start his team have made and with the players he has out there with Doyle and Sakho, key players who can turn games. If they dominate possession for the whole of the game like this, they're going to score goals.
Off the head of Gregory. That's Bart. Ricketts. There's Kevin McDonald. Bakary Sakho. Henry. Goldborn is tiptoeing forward on the far side. He's been seen by McDonald. Jacobs. Jacobs wants it back. To Kevin McDonald.
It's a very poor finish, but the build-up, the link-up play between Kevin McDonald and the wide players is growing. As Wolves are growing into the game. Trying to overplay, really. The opportunity was there a bit earlier to get a shot away, and just goes for power there. Kevin McDonald just needs to go for a decent contact and keep it down.
There's been some upheaval for Gillingham this season. They were mainly direct under Martin Allen. It was effective. It won them the title. In League Two, Peter Taylor has introduced a different style guide, passing it more, but they played themselves into trouble more, tried to pass the ball around and try to get used to that particular style. Gregory looking for Charlie Lee. Right on his toes there was Aaron McCary. That will build his confidence even further. Here's Henry. Saka was there for the pullback. Cut off at the pass.
There's plenty of invention in the Wolves attacking players. It's all just down to intelligent movement off the ball, and if Gillingham really don't concentrate, they're going to get caught out time and again.
That's Ricketts. Sacco lets it go, and behind him was Lge. Henry losing out to Charlie Lee. That's Gregory. McDonald was trying to spin away from Danny Bart, who was aware and alive to the situation. Now it's Henry. Barrett making contact with that. And Nelson drops on it. Charlie Lee in a spot of bother here.
Well, Charlie Lee is a combative midfielder. Normally when he goes down, there must be something wrong with him. Wonder whether he slips. Is it a contact injury? I'm not sure. He just goes into the challenge and then very quickly goes to ground. Looks like he's tweaked a hip.
Well, we've mentioned that Wolves have had their injury problems of late. Likewise, Gillingham to key players as well. This will be a concern for Peter Taylor. And Charlie Lee is down. Wembley draws ever closer in the Capital One Cup next week. Semi-final time, Sunderland against Manchester United. Sky Sports 1, Tuesday, 7:30. And then it's Manchester City against West Ham. Sky Sports 1, Wednesday, 7 p.m.
It looks as if it's just an impact injury. Charlie Lee goes into this challenge, is it? Is he caught by a flailing knee? You can clearly see it there, just catches him right on the hip, and it can be really painful. You don't feel it initially, but when it kicks in, very painful. But he's a tough cookie. I'm sure he'll be okay.
Well, there's no Danny Hollins tonight. He is out injured, and that's his loan spell done now. He'll head back to Charlton. Charlie Lee doing his utmost to make sure he gets back onto the pitch here. And he is back.
And it's so important that he's back on, because the system that Peter Taylor is playing with, the 4-3-3, to allow Fagan, Kedwell and McDonald to affect the game going forward, he has to do his job in central midfield. He needs to run that off quickly.
There's Edwards. Alakobi. It's a league start for Wolves since they were relegated against Brighton back in May. So to really shift around his back line tonight, Kenny Jackett. Kobe just about reached Danny Bart. Jacobs looking for Sacco. Intervening was Charlie Lee. Hessenthaler managing to wriggle away from Edwards. That's Fagan. Maybe McDonald trying to make a nuisance of himself, but Alakobi doing enough for Wolves. Ricketts. Goulburn to take a step down in divisions to join Wolves. Jacobs cutting inside. Good block by Lge. You can see Jacobs and Henry, they don't tend to stay out wide. Within around about 5 or 6 yards of each other there on that far side.
They can chop and change their positions. It's all about the fullbacks pushing on, but it all stems from Wolves keeping the ball well. Gillingham sitting off, and as fullbacks join in, wide players can then go and tuck in field and and enjoy themselves.
Bart closed down by Danny Kedwell. That's Charlie Lee. McDonald. Nicely done away from Gregory. Sacco. This is Henry. Played under Kenny Jackett at Millwall. Sacco. Gregory getting back goal side, but Sacco retaining possession and trying to feed it through to Jacobs. And once again, Kenny Jackett rotating his strikers tonight. He's still trying to find the right combination. That's why Sacco's been brought in to play alongside Kevin Doyle. If you look at the rest of the team, it hasn't been shifted around too much unless injuries and suspensions. The front two combination is something Kenny Jackett is still trying to work on.
Wolves have been creating opportunities and not taking them, so if you have the squad that Kenny has, it makes sense to try a different combination up front. If the previous front two, Griffiths and Cassidy, weren't really scoring goals, you've got quality on the bench, you've got to use it.
Harriman has played in the Premier League with Queen's Park Rangers. Fagan looking for Harriman again. Edwards tidying up, and Henry with a chance to run at Gillingham here. Henry away from Martin. There's Sacco. Sacco's cross, and it may reach Kevin Doyle here. Nudged away by Gregory. Once again, an important touch for the Gillingham man. Martin. McDonald in a scrap with Danny Bart, a scrap which is won by Cody McDonald. Hessenthaler. Harriman. Hessenthaler again. And Cody making sure he took charge of that situation.
This is what Gillingham need, just to start popping the passes around and build up some rhythm to their attacking play. They've done so much defending in the early stages. They just need to get on the ball and build up some confidence.
Well, they do have a long throw expert in that man, Charlie Lee, who was on the launch pad here. Not as flat as the old Rory Delap ones, but they can be effective. But on that occasion, it was dealt with by Kevin Doyle.
I think Peter Taylor, after 20 minutes of this game, would have been a little bit nervous the way that Wolves started. They've kept possession well, but his team have kept them at arm's length. They haven't created a really good opportunity and tested Stuart Nelson. That's what Kenny Jackett will want. Keep the ball well, start working the opposition goalkeeper.
Not his favourite ground, this, for Kenny Jackett. He's lost all 4 visits here as a manager. Looking to change that particular record tonight. Martin to Lee, back to Martin. Hessenthaler. Harriman. By the bounce on the pitch there, Harriman, but he's come away with it, but he has run it out of play. Edwards. He's playing a little deeper these days. We mentioned that Kenny Jackett was switching combinations up front. He's been doing the same with the midfield pairing as well until recent weeks, but he's settled now on Edwards and McDonald, with Edwards playing a little bit deeper, sitting alongside McDonald.
I think it makes sense for those two central midfielders for Wolves just to drop off the Gillingham midfield three. It's pointless going up against them. There's less space to play in, so they're dropping off and enjoying some possession.
Good run here by Jacobs. Will be corner kick here.
There certainly seems to be no foul in there. Leon Legge tracking across. I think he catches Jacobs, does he? Well, there's possibly a little nudge right on the edge of the penalty area. He'll be slightly fortunate. The way that Jacobs went down, I think, convinced the referee it wasn't a penalty, strangely.
Well, this has been Gillingham's problem, big problem this season, defending set pieces. Danny Bart amongst those forward. Who is a threat? Goes in towards Danny Bart. Comes off the head of leg for another corner.
This is a horrible night for goalkeepers to try and come off their line and deal with the ball that's swirling in towards their goal. There's a lot of pace on that cross as well. It's a nightmare. Stuart Nelson can't get through the crowd. And Leon Legge does brilliantly to flick that clear.
Yeah, make sure he took command there, Leon Legge. More work to do here for Gillingham. Spins off the head of Danny Bart. There's Goulburn. An opportunity for Wolves to test Gillingham here from a corner kick.
From corners in these conditions, really, it's got to be in-swingers, nice and flat and pacey, and make it hard for the keeper to come off his line. I think he's going to have a major problem, Stuart Nelson, if Wolves find the quality into the box.
Well, they go short. Now it goes in. There's Alakobi. McDonald fizzed in. Could have been dangerous.
The ball is pinballing around, but it's just over-elaborate, really, from Wolves. I'm not sure why they're playing short corners. Just whip it in there. They're a big side. Very difficult for Wolves to get a clean shot in. So many Gillingham defenders in there.
Charlie Lee away from Jacobs, but not Ricketts. Essenthaler. There's Fagan. Harriman looking to drive Goulburn back. Spill there from McCary, but no one around to take advantage.
It's a really poor cross in, actually, and the Gillingham strikers just give up hope of reaching it. As a striker, you've got to chase everything down. It's a fumble from the goalkeeper. You never know, as a centre forward, you could have had a tap in there.
Highly rated goalkeeper. That's the post tonight for Wolves and Aaron McCary. The backup to the backup. Wayne Hennessy not here. We'll wait to see where Wayne Hennessy now ends up. They're looking for a flag. This time it comes their way.
The ball just ricochets around, but we'll see this with Bakary Sakho. At times he'll drop off into the pocket. At other times he'll look to spin in behind defenders. I think as that ball cannons back off the Wolves player, he is offside the second time around.
Alakobi taking charge above Kedwell. Ball finding Henry. McDonald seeking out Bakary Sakho. He is capable of the spectacular on that left foot of his, but not on that occasion.
Look at the time and space that Kevin McDonald here has to play. No one closing him down, and he picks out an absolutely brilliant pass, but Sakho on the stretch. And he just loses his footing as well. But Gillingham have to learn their lessons. They've got to close players down, good players down quicker than this, or they're going to get punished.
.26 minutes gone, Kenny. 0-0.
Well, he'll be delighted with the way his side have applied themselves in difficult conditions, played good football, created opportunities. Simply haven't worked the keeper enough.
Well, I think that sums up Wolves of late, and that's why Kenny Jackett, as we mentioned, has been looking for more of a goal threat. A reminder that Lee Griffiths, the leading scorer, is once again on the bench tonight. Fagan stopped in no uncertain terms by Alakobi. So cue that man, Charlie Lee, to take a long throw in, and Leg moves forward. Fenway has profited from a few of these, but he's on the bench at the moment for Gillingham. Forward by Harriman. This could be a test here for McCary. Test that he comes through.
It's really good positive goalkeeping. His defenders were looking immediately to him to come off his line and collect, and showed lots of confidence. Clean catch.
Henry. Edwards. Jacobs. Sakho And Goldburn behind him. I think Goldburn was the original target of that, but Sacco has managed to dig the cross out. Another corner to Wolves.
Well, how many different positions does Bakary Sacco take up? You see him dropping off, trying to run in behind defenders, pulling out wide, and we know he's got this ability to whip in dangerous crosses. And Wolves Lge, his big defensive positioning, excellent at the near post.
Alakobi once again forward from the back. Likewise, Danny Bart goes in towards Alakobi. That's a good catch from Nelson.
We saw with Aaron McCary down one end. Good positive keeping from Stuart Nelson coming off his line. Good clear call and clean catch.
Well, as we say, that was a big problem for Gillingham, particularly a couple of months ago. Defending set pieces, taking charge of the situation. Nelson did just that. Early shot. Well, the pace has been relentless at the top of League One. Kenny Jackett reckons they may need 90+ points to finish top 2 this season. A year ago, after 24 games, Doncaster and Bournemouth, who both went up. Doncaster were on 43, Bournemouth 38.
I think Wolves are where everyone would have expected them to be before a ball was kicked this season, but you've got to give huge credit to Brentford, Leyton Orient and Preston as well. They're making it a real fight at the top of the table.
It's currently on 49 points, 3 points behind the leaders Brentford. As Andy says, no one is going away at the moment. No one's falling away. If you look at the table a year ago, after 24 games, Sheffield United and Tranmere were the top 2 in League One.
Kevin Doyle, we haven't really seen him involved an awful lot in the game so far, just leaning on. Harriman, he's looking at the defender, not looking at the ball, and the referee absolutely right to give the free kick.
Kobe getting the better of Kedwell. Cody McDonald was almost onto that. That's terrific defending from Danny Bart. He's so quick, Cody McDonald, but Bart matched him there. Charlie Lee again, he's been busy. Can he deliver this time? Leg meets it. Leg tries to get to it again. Danny Kedwell. This time he turned around and Danny Bart was in his way. Strong play from a strong man, Bakary Sacco. Don't think he meant that. Sam Ricketts, I don't think he meant that. Goldburn. There's McDonald. Kevin Doyle losing out to Lee. He's getting a little frustrated as Barrett went long looking for McDonald. Maybe a free kick for Kevin Doyle and Wolves.
Exaggerated fall from Kevin Doyle. He's certainly to the ball first. There is a nudge in his back, and the referee absolutely right to give the free kick.
Bart is forward. This is big George Alakobi. Emery's delivery off the head of Bart. Work to do here for Nelson. He didn't do very well, but the referee has blown the whistle. And he just got away with that, Stuart Nelson.
I think the Gillingham keeper could be mightily lucky here. You see it time and again. It's a wicked ball in from James Henry. Danny Bart's on the end of it. It's just not a clean punch. He just completely misses it. Didn't seem to be an awful lot in the challenge from Doyle. We do see referees blowing up when there's any kind of challenge on a keeper. Is there much in this? I'm not so sure that Kevin Doyle does anything wrong there, and Gillingham are fortunate.
Santala stretching. There's Alakobi. Goldberg. Well won there by Kevin Doyle. Sacco couldn't quite pick up the pieces. Gregory. He'll be landing there for George Alakobi, but the decision wasn't coming his way from the referee as Henry is beaten to the punch. Gregory with the challenge. There's Martin. Gregory swerving away from Henry.
We just haven't seen that final quality ball yet from Gillingham, but you have to admire their tenacity because Wolves are playing some decent possession football. Gillingham working very hard defensively, trying to stop Wolves creating good opportunities.
Gillingham looking for another long throw, and Barrett tried to get the flick on. Leg was behind him. Jacobs, Gregory going to ground.
I just wonder, is it just going to simply be a word from referee Mark Brown? But Stephen Gregory makes his mind up very early to slide in for this challenge. He doesn't seem to play the ball, and when you go off your feet like this in these type of conditions, he's nowhere near the ball. He's lucky to escape without a booking.
Ricketts, Henry. Wolves are still the dominant force here, but as of yet, they have to find a way past Stuart Nelson. Not really tested the Gillingham goalkeeper yet. Barrett's header. Sacco, strong arm play to see off Gregory. Sacco didn't get to it because Charlie Lee was there for company.
He normally does well, Bakary Sacco, when he gets hold of the ball, but he works so hard to make himself available to his teammates. He covers a lot of ground.
Jacobs with the switch in play, inviting Goldborn forward. Nicely taken down by the former Barnsley man. It's Kevin Doyle. Kevin McDonald. Could have been awkward with the bounce.
I'll tell you what a goal this would have been, because Kevin Doyle does brilliantly just to help this ball back and appreciate the forward run of Kevin McDonald, and he does strike a clean ball. Once he hits it into the ground, takes the pace off, and fairly comfortable save.
It's Kedwell's cross. McDonald. Too much on that for Charlie Lee. Gillingham springing into life at the other end.
There's not been many occasions for Kedwell and McDonald to get involved in an attacking sense yet.
Martin with the cross this time. Kedwell trying to take out all comers. Fagan's cross, and Gillingham have a corner.
And this is where the home side need to take a breath, an opportunity here to put some quality into the 6-yard box, get the big lads up from the back, Leon Legge, possibly Adam Barrett as well. They really need to attack this with purpose.
First chance to test Wolves from a corner kick here. And it's Hessenthaler who's standing over it. Hessenthaler over the head of Barrett, and it was Fagan who tried to connect with it. Essenthaler again. Close control, and wins the throw in. Gregory. Barrett has stayed forward. That's Charlie Lee, and the flag is up. Ball won't count.
It's Cody McDonald with the back heel. I think he's shooting actually rather than trying to play in one of his teammates. When the ball breaks his way, you can see the power he puts into his back heel, which makes me think that he's actually shooting from there. Clearly offside as well, but he's not looking to play in Leon Legge, he's looking to score.
Encouraging sign so for Gillingham. This is Jacobs. He's done well, Jacobs. Good stop from Nelson. And he deserved that bit of luck. Flag had gone up in any case. Wonderful skill though from Michael Jacobs. He calls himself the entertainer. That's what he can do. And Nelson managed to get down to it.
Well, he did everything right. He took on 2 or 3 and on very difficult conditions underfoot. Keeps his balance superbly. Really clean strike, but a brilliant save from Stuart Nelson. The ball zips off the surface. Very hard for the keeper to get down quickly and turn this one away. But Jacobs unlucky, but a brilliant save anyway.
Has a goal at Anfield on his CV during his Northampton days. Scored when Northampton Town upset Liverpool, Roy Hodgson's Liverpool, in the League Cup. Scored a goal in the 2-2 draw and then put his penalty away in the shootout. Lee. Martin. Reagan's come inside, but no way past Alakobi. Jacobs. Slightly thundering forward here, and it quite easily have been an own goal. I like getting the touch on that.
Perfect example of really intelligent movement off the ball, good build-up play from Wolves, and Goldborn puts in a wonderful cross. You can't do any more than that as a left-back. I'll tell you what, Leon Legge is probably a bit fortunate, but at least he's first to that cross.
Heart in mouth time there for Legge. And Kobe rising, and Gillingham once again dealing with the threat. Gillingham have rolled out the red carpet for Brentford and Orient here this season. They held Brentford. Orient won late on here on Boxing Day. And Peterborough to a draw here as well. Well, difficult to knock over when the big boys come to town. Sacco once again showing his power and his strength, and he's got the decision.
The referee trying to play the advantage, but he was being pushed and pulled. Bakary Sacco, he's so strong, he's so direct as well. At times defenders just have to use foul means just to stop him getting beyond them, and it's clearly a foul in there.
Oh, just about let go in the end there, Joe Martin. Can Wolves make one of these set pieces count here? Henry and Sacco both standing over this. Delivered low by Henry, treading ground move, which almost came off.
It's really brave defending yet again. This time it's Adam Barrett who just puts his body on the line, throws himself in the way. Make sure the ball is deflected away, but Gillingham under severe pressure here.
Gillingham cornered here. Henry with that corner. Now for the home side to relieve some of that pressure. This team have been on top, but they've yet to make the breakthrough.
Well, it is the story of the last few games for Wolves. They've created opportunities, not taken them, but I'm sure he won't panic, Kenny. He never really does. Just encourage his team to keep passing the ball and look to make that one opportunity that could actually win the game.
this would be a tough night on his 61st birthday. At the moment, though, his team are just about standing their ground. But Wolves about to ask a few more questions here. Henry. Bart has 1 goal to his name so far this season. Always a threat from set pieces. Wolves have had plenty so far. Edwards moves towards the near post. Ricketts to Henry. Henry looking for Sacco, just couldn't quite angle it enough.
I think the idea was right, but Bakary Sacco just slightly caught on his heels. Normally, he's so forward thinking, he would have been on his way there. Really intelligent pass though from Henry.
Final minute of the first half in which Wolves have had the better of it. Gillingham have kept the scoreline blank here so far. Gregory. There's Harriman.
Wolves completely dominating the game, but it's all about getting that key opening goal, and they're struggling to make the breakthrough.
Come on, fucking hell.
Sacco looking to hold off leg and trying to make life awkward there for Gregory. It's been a step up for Gillingham. League Two champions last season. Didn't quite work out for Martin Allen this time around as we head into 1 additional minute. Gemma Paul-Scally said it was a big decision to let Martin Allen go. He wanted something different when he first brought Martin Allen in. He certainly got that. Does have his ways, Martin Allen, but ultimately he's a winner. It didn't quite work out in the end, which is why the change was made, with Peter Taylor taking over in October. Initially as interim manager, now he's got the job till the end of the season. There's Danny Kedwell, who hasn't had too much to go at so far tonight. Short throw this time from Charlie Lee, who finds Harriman. The Wolves on top, but no breakthrough in the first 45. It's the way it's been going for them of late. They've seen plenty of the ball, but haven't really tested Stuart Nelson in the Gillingham goal. Bakary Sacco has shown his power, but Peter Taylor's team have managed to stand their ground in that first half without really threatening at the other end. Half-time at Priestfield, Gillingham 0, Wolves 0.
So from a blustery Priestfield Stadium, Wolves have had the better goal-scoring opportunities. After the break, we'll be hearing from their former goalkeeper Matt Murray. Wolves have huffed and they've puffed, but they've yet to blow Gillingham away. Half-time here at the Priestfield. It's goalless between Gillingham and Wolves. Wolves certainly have had some more of the opportunities in this game. 11 attempts, but just 3 on target. And the former Wolves goalkeeper Matt Murray joins me here in the studio to go through that first half. First of all, Matt, what did you make of that performance?
I think from a Wolves' point of view, though, Kenny Jackett will probably be the happier of the two managers. Wolves started very, very well. Restricted Gillingham to a few chances. Wolves created a lot of chances, had a lot of possession, got in good positions, but I think as you see there, only 3 of the attempts actually on target, so that's what Kenny Jackett was saying, we've got to be more clinical when we get into these good areas.
Yeah, created plenty of chances, did Wolves. Why haven't they been able to finish them off?
Some of it's, well, one was a really, really good save from the goalkeeper here, Bakary Saka. You know what he's like. He's playing instead of playing on the left, he's got in that hole. I think Peter Taylor was saying you've got to close good players down. They're standing off them, letting them put balls in. Again, that's a great ball from James Henry. Jacobs, the movement and that, he's come in and he was stretching for it there with Saka. I think the movement's been really good. The deliveries coming in have been good, but just haven't quite been able to finish it off. And you know, I'm keepers union, but I think Stuart Nelson will be quite relieved to get a free kick there. I don't really see a foul. But you know, end of the day, the referee blew his whistle and weren't able to punish it there. McDonald again, that's a pretty routine save for Nelson. But you can see that getting gold shirts forward, good movement. This is really, really good play from Jacobs. Engineered his chance hard and low across the goalkeeper, and that is a top draw save from Stuart Nelson to push it to safety as well. Really, really good save.
With all those chances, will they be disappointed in the dressing room, Wolves?
Yeah, they will, and that's been the situation in the last few games as well against Leyton Orient Tranmere. They haven't taken their chances, but you know, from a Gillingham point of view, they're saying, look, we're well in this game. You know, we can create more. We should be the fresher team because they didn't play on New Year's Day, whereas Wolves did. There've been changes as well to the Wolves team, but I think all in all, considering the changes, well, Wolves have looked very solid at the back.
Wayne Hennessy not in the starting 11. He refused to play for Wolves today. In comes the third choice goalkeeper, Aaron McCary. Not been tested though much, has he?
Yeah, that's what Peter Taylor's going to say. Come on, he's making his league debut. Carl Ikeme has been excellent for Wolves, so he thought this could be a big loss, you know. But Aaron has done his thing. He's had a few touches. Everything he's done well. He got a nice early touch there. The curling effort from Fagan. His starting positions have been positive. He's talked to his defenders well. They've stayed off him to allow him to come. He had a little fumble there, but look, he's in a positive starting position. Didn't cost anything. Taking a few good crosses. I think he's kicked the ball well. So he hasn't really been tested, and that will be the thing that's disappointing Gillingham the most. But all in all, it's been a good 45 for Aaron.
How pleasing do you think Gillingham will feel at the break?
Well, they'll be happy that they've come in 0-0. You know, they've done pretty well against teams towards the top of the league. There's no pressure on them, no expectations. But if they can turn this round now in the second half, they defended the set pieces very well, which is something they've been questioned against them. But Wolves had, I think, 7 corners. They put 3 kicks in as well, not managed to score. So they'll be happy and they'll be saying, look, now we've got to, you know, we look good. Pretty good at the back, say we're defending. Now we've got to create more, get more bodies forward, press Wolves higher, and try and work this young goalkeeper making his debut.
Well, a win, of course, for Gillingham will move them 5 points clear of the relegation zone. But can Wolves find the goal that will take them to the top of League One? Second half coming up for you next. With the ghastly weather in the UK at the moment, why not indulge with a trip to Spain this weekend with Sky Sports coverage of La Liga as they return from their winter break. Tomorrow evening, you can visit Malaga as they entertain Atletico Madrid, and that's followed by Valencia versus Levante. We have a triple header on Sunday, all on Sky Sports 3, and perhaps a return for Messi. Barcelona against Elche, Osasuna play Espanyol, and Real Sociedad face Athletic Bilbao. After their trip to Doha this week, Real Madrid resume their campaign at home to Celta Vigo on Monday, and that's on Sky Sports 1. So Wolves know that a win tonight will take them to the top of the table. What more can they do to get a goal, Matt Murray?
Well, keep pushing forward, keep getting bodies forward, but just be more clinical. So if they don't get the goal soon, then you imagine that maybe Griffiths might come on. Akinfenwa for Gillingham as well. They might be looking to do that, but they just want to try and create a bit more.
OK, second half on the way then. Let's return you to Gary Weaver and Andy Hinchcliffe.
Well, Gillingham, who are desperate for points to stay out of trouble, have managed to stand firm against Wolves. But Wolves will keep coming at them. The door is ajar to number 1, and Wolves are looking to barge right through it tonight. No changes by either team at the break. Time begins to fall again in Kent. Wolves get the ball rolling in the second half. Sacco intervening and getting the better there of Lge. And comes away with it. There's Lee. Hessenthaler. Craig Fagan, fain to go one way, then went the other. Tried to poke that through towards Danny Kedwell, who, remember, is playing tonight after postponing hernia surgery until next week.
There's a collision there between the two players, maybe just a bash in the face. Seems though Charlie Lee just steps across, just body checks the Wolves player, and painful for James Henry.
Good decision there by Aaron McCary, who once again takes command inside his penalty area.
Well, it wasn't easy for the keepers in the first half, but with the rain coming down as well, that ball's going to get really greasy, and keepers really do have to concentrate every time they come off their line.
And Doyle's flick. Gillingham looking for home rule again. Won in the last 3 games. This was a power base last season as they powered through League Two. Donald. Moved on by Sacco. Legging away again. Fagan with a clever touch. Took a heavy hit there. Harriman's away here for Gillingham. Being pursued all the way by Edwards. Gregory. There's Fagan. He's playing for his future. His short-term deal ends in the next few days. There's Danny Kedwell. Miscue in the end from Charlie Lee.
It's a really poor finish, but much better from Gillingham in terms of build-up. We just didn't see this in the first half. Quality balls into their strikers and midfielders joining in. He's trying to bend that into the top corner, but leaning back, and in these conditions, once the ball gets off the ground, the wind takes it way over the bar.
The conditions are just beginning to worsen again here. Well, we're hearing that Peter Taylor is mulling over an early change in the second half, and Charlie Lee, who did pick up an injury in the first half, may be making way shortly, but in the meantime, here's Kedwell.
It's really poor defending from Sam Ricketts, just misjudging the bounce of the ball here, and you can't allow a player like Kedwell to use his pace and power to get in behind you. It's poor from the right back. But it's difficult for Kedwell on the angles, a long way from goal as well. He's not fully fit, we know that. Again, he just needs to keep it down.
Well, he will know that when those chances come, they have to take them against a team as strong and powerful as Wolves. Kedwell, Gillingham's leading scorer this season with 10 goals. A local boy who's done well, fighting his way through non-league football until deep into his 20s. McDonald. This is Sacco. Jacobs. Had a good first half, Jacobs. Henry. Now it's Goulburn. Henry again. Raymond in the way that time. McDonald, no time to dwell. Goulburn. Jacobs again, it's opened up for him here. Jacobs to the sleeve this time.
He's a confident lad, he can take a shot with his right foot as we saw in the first half. Quite happy to shift it onto his left here. Wolves just growing into this second half, dominating the possession once again, and Gillingham sitting deep once again, and that is a worry for Peter Taylor.
Well, there's the Gillingham change, and Bradley Dack, another who, like Hessenthal, has come through the academy here, 20 years of age. He's a really good footballer. He comes on to replace the injured Charlie Lee. Different kind of player to Charlie Lee as Bradley Dack prefers playing in the number 10 role or out wide.
There's a change in personnel, might be just a change in system slightly as well. Gillingham possibly going for a midfield 4 here, which means they might be able to get a bit closer to the Wolves midfield now.
Kevin Doyle. Goulburn. There's Jacobs. Bakary Sakho, nicely done. Lovely link-up play again from Wolves. Jacobs and Sakho involved once more. That's McDonald. Scooting low to clear is Harriman. Now Kedwell. Fagan. That's where Gillingham just need the ball to stick. Sakho. Telekobi. That's called no nonsense.
As we saw in the first half, Wolves dominating possession again. It really just playing on the counter, Gillingham. But we know with Danny Kedwell, he will chase lost causes and put Telekobi under severe pressure and picks up a throw-in.
Fagan standing his ground. Now it's Gregory. Pushed forward here is Martin. Not too many chances to get forward so far tonight. He's looking for McDonald, and McCary gets to it at the second attempt. Not in mouth time there for the Wolves goalkeeper.
But all you can do as a keeper when you make one mistake is try and make up for it. And he does just that. He's brave, diving at the feet of the attacker.
Jacobs. Gets it back from Doyle. Jacobs. This is Sakho.
Pressure again building on Gillingham. They're being forced to defend deep. And the Wolves are getting key players into key areas. This time it's Sakho, but Harriman does just about enough to get in the line of fire.
It was brave to get in the way of a Bakary Sakho left-footed thunderbolt. Henry's delivery. Jacobs again. He's in and out of the picture at Derby County. This is a low move to Wolves. Play that Kenny Jackett wanted to take to Millwall during his time at the New Den. Close and personal, Craig Fagan and Michael Jacobs.
Well, Fagan does really well, because the important thing here is he doesn't get sold, because Jacobs is a clever player, well balanced. He just stays on his feet. Fagan just simply runs out of room. Jacobs, bit of grappling. We'll keep each other warm anyway.
It's a cold night. Sakho in the way. Couldn't quite lay it off for Kevin Doyle. Winning that header. Rising with McDonald. It's Harriman. Kedwell again, looking for Dack, who's a clever little player, has a good left foot as well. Dack, now it's Cody McDonald! And McCary with a big save for Wolves. Lovely football from Gillingham. Bradley Dack involved. That's what he can do. He's a clever player, he's a thinker. Cody McDonald denied. Martin just behind Dack. Martin tries to get to it again.
It was a fantastic spell from Gillingham. We just haven't really seen it. Concerted efforts at going forward from the home side, but this is brilliant from the substitute. Bradley Dack just dances inside Goldburn and then gets his head up, importantly, releases the pass. It's really good positioning from Aaron McCary. Could easily have gone to one side of the goal or the other and given Cody McDonald more to shoot at, but the keeper does really well.
Dack, part of the Gillingham Academy here. Academy which has produced the likes of Matt Jarvis, who ended up at Wolves, Ryan Bertrand as well. Dack and Hassenthaler to the latest off the production line.
That's all that Gillingham really are looking for in this game. They know they're going to come under pressure as Wolves dominate the ball, create chances. Just a bit of brilliance down the other end, and Dack and McDonald nearly conjured something from nothing.
Martin. McDonald allowed to turn. Fagan. Harriman motoring forward here, forced a little wide. Just to get the cross in. Kevin Doyle. Suddenly Wolves are in a bit of a scrap here because Gillingham have managed to move up the gears. Only not happy that the handball has gone against him.
The ball just seemed to pop up and did that right arm come out to control it. Difficult to judge the bounce on this type of surface, but the arm is certainly up. Is it his chest, is it his shoulder? Hard to tell, but the referee's assistant's flag went up very, very quickly.
Oh, and Gillingham play, normally there are goals. 74 have gone in the games involving Gillingham, and the games involving Coventry have seen more in League One. Over the head of Kedwell. Thumped away by Jacobs. Kevin Doyle. Henry. Sacco. McDonald. Now Goldman. There's Jacobs again, hoping to torment Gillingham again. Easily away from Dack. Jacobs to Goldman. Couldn't quite find Goldman.
It's just that final pass. We have to give Gillingham an awful lot of credit. The concentration at the back is superb, and just about snapping in at the right times just to clear their lines.
You've seen they don't tend to keep clean sheets, Gillingham. They're having to make sure that they're on the metal here. And another test could be coming their way here.
There's a tug on the shoulder of Kevin McDonald. It was Jake Hessenthaler who was in close attendance. As he turns away, McDonald, just an arm on the shoulder there, and that's what the referee saw.
Henry standing over this. Henry, well, the flag hasn't gone up, but the referee saw a bit of a push inside the penalty area. Adam Barrett, the injured party.
That's a great ball in from James Henry. There must have been a shove in there. There's certainly not an offside in there. And is it Danny Bart who's fouling Adam Barrett? Chance to see it in the middle of the picture there. There's certainly a shove, and the referee, that's a really good spot. Two big centre halves coming together. There's a shove from Bart. And Mark Brown exactly in the right spot, and it's clearly a foul.
By the way, if you're wondering where you may have seen Adam Barrett before, he's the one who missed that incredible chance here against Stevenage. It went viral earlier this season. 1 yard out, centre of goal, no goalkeeper. He missed it. Kedwell in the middle here. Seems to defy physics, that miss from Barrett earlier this season. Quite incredible. Jacobs looking for Doyle, no way through. Ricketts. Sacco was on his way. Ricketts into the feet of Doyle. Martin. Change looks imminent from Wolves. Jacket does have the option there of Lee Griffiths to bring on the leading scorer this season, who hasn't started as many as he would like in recent weeks. And Martin has put himself in trouble here. That's Henry, and Wolves couldn't capitalise.
Gillingham can't afford to slip up at the back and make mistakes, but as James Henry takes this shot, I'm sure his left foot just goes from underneath him. Clever play from Kevin Doyle. He just slips. You can see clearly his foot goes from underneath him, so he's got a stable ground to take a clear shot at goal, and that's why another opportunity passes Wolves by.
Bradley Dack. Done well again. He's outwitted Danny Bart. Fagan was setting himself, but not standing on ceremony was Scott Goldman. Kedwell. An encouraging moment that for Gillingham.
That's all they're hoping for. And Bradley Dack coming off the bench has made a real difference. They're getting ball into his feet. He's running at defenders, committing them in the penalty area. They just want that flash of brilliance to change the game for them.
So Wolves are ready to make this change. Lee Griffiths is about to come on, and he will replace James Henry. Lee Griffiths with 13 goals this season, 1 in his last 6. He is on, and off goes James Henry. Griffiths to provide a bit more support now to Kevin Doyle.
Well, Kenny Jackett certainly has a quality squad, real strength in depth, and look at that strike force he's got out there for League One. Bakary Sakho, Kevin Doyle, now Lee Griffiths, plenty of goals. It's just about creating opportunities for those front three.
One thing he does possess is goals, no question about that, Lee Griffiths. Fagan. Adebayo Akinfenwa will be with us shortly. Mentioned earlier he'll feel aggrieved not to start this game tonight. Peter Taylor said that to me earlier today. Big decision for him, but he felt that Danny Kedwell going in for his hernia surgery. If Akinfenwa picked up a knock tonight, then he would really be in trouble. As Kedwell due to be out for a few weeks. Leg lets it go. And hesitancy between Ricketts and McCary. And Gillingham looking to profit here. Dack's cross straight to McCary.
It's a poor final ball, but Wolves on the back at times, even in the first half, they just go to sleep, a little bit complacent. With Cody McDonald around, he will chase lost causes like Danny Kedwell will, and he'll keep picking possession up and put you under pressure.
Well, defensively, they have been sound this season, Wolves. Conceded just the 18 in League One, best defence in Sky Bet League One. He's had to move things around tonight because of an injury to Ebanks Landell after a terrible challenge by James Wallace of Tranmere on New Year's Day, and also Richard Stearman, who was red carded in that game. There's the big man then. Adebayo Akinfenwa, and he comes on to replace Craig Fagan, who's still trying to find his fitness. Only joined in the last couple of months.
Well, if you're looking for attacking muscle, he is very much the man, and that's a positive change though from Peter Taylor. Might have tried to shore things up and hold on to the point, but he's looking for all three.
Well, Kenny Jackett knows all about him, having had him at Watford and also Swansea. So he knows just what Akinfenwa is capable of. And there's going to be quite a strongman contest between Akinfenwa and George Alakobi. Essenthaler losing out. There's Griffiths. Goulburn. Trying to find Griffiths again. And Gillingham doing enough at the back. Alakobi and Akinfenwa, quite a contest on the cards here.
We've had the wind, we've had the rain. I think if Alakobi and Akinfenwa collide, we could have earthquakes as well.
Akinfenwa. Edwards sticking out a leg. Akinfenwa. Goulburn almost getting the better of him.
What he has for a big man, he has a decent touch. He's good in the air as well, and just because of his size, you think he's going to be a battering ram, but you give him an opportunity and he can finish.
Harriman saw the gap and went through it. Ricketts leading the charge away for Wolves. Heading into the final quarter here, still 0-0 at the Priestfield. Edwards. Sacco. Goldbund's cross. No chances taken by Martin. It's really good following of Wolves fans behind that goal. Once again, come out in support. Big club, big fan base, big history. Looking to get back to where they once were. Jacobs. Grounded. That challenge. Martin with it. Griffiths inviting ball. That's Sacco. There's another thunderbolt, and Dak felt that, although he's not showing any signs of it.
Yeah, Bradley Dack doing his job at both ends of the field, and that's what Gillingham are going to need. Everybody pulling their weight, working hard defensively, because Wolves starting to grow into the game again and get their passing game going.
Famous last words and all that. There's never been a goalless draw between these two. It's the 15th time they've met down the years. Harriman, Akinfenwa, there's Dak. Scoot forward looking for Cody McDonald, lovely idea, and McCary gets to it.
It's really good goalkeeping, his appreciation of where this ball is going to land, absolutely excellent. It's not all about flying saves for keepers. You've got to read the game well, and McCary did especially well there.
Only his second appearance for Wolves tonight. Aaron McCary played in the Johnston's Paint shootout victory against Walsall, was a hero that particular night as well earlier this season. Harriman. More football to come on Sky Sports. The Scottish Premiership. Great derby last night between Hearts and Hibs. It's Motherwell against Inverness tomorrow, 12:30 Sky Sports 1. And then Celtic's trip to Paisley against St Mirren, Sunday, 12:30 Sky Sports 1. Still 21 minutes for this game to be settled here. Alakobi. McDonald. There's Gregory. Slamming the door shut that time was Edwards. McDonald looking for Lee Griffiths. Racing up his line quickly at the other end was Stuart Nelson.
Just slightly too much on the pass, but Kevin McDonald, I feel, is the key man for Wolves. If they can get him on the ball, he has the vision and the ability to pick out a striker on rushing.
Akinfenwa. Dak unable to control it. Sacco. Jacobs. Running forward with menace again.
Stuart Nelson just about keeps hold of this. So difficult for Michael Harriman at right back. He's got Goldburn flying forward as well. A fairly dangerous cross for the keepers. First to it. Just about manages to keep hold.
Akinfenwa. Bart. Diving in there with a challenge. Managed to do the job. The substitutes are beginning to make a difference for Gillingham, particularly Dak. It's very much a squad game these days. Benches are so important these days.
The conditions aren't helping, but both sides are just looking for that one touch of quality. Could be all important tonight. One real touch of quality, a bit of class, and the game could be won.
defence done well. Akinfenwa on top of George Elokobi.
Bound to be a wrestling match between these two. Clearly a foul from Akinfenwa, and I think George Elokobi might need some treatment for his back at the end of the game.
Well, he showed he's got a strong back there, George Elokobi. Sacco. He might fancy this, Bakary Sacco. He did do, but he finds the Wolves fans and almost went out to the ground.
Oh, we know he has the ability in that left foot of his, but look at Bradley Dack again, tracking him all the way, not giving up. And she's just sliding in, getting in the face of Bakary Sacco, making it hard for him to see the target.
Well, he knows this is a big opportunity tonight, albeit it's away from home. Wolves with a chance to nudge Brentford out of the way at the top of Sky Bet League One. As for Gillingham, they're looking to keep out of trouble. A couple of points above the drop zone. McDonald. Danny Bart looking for Kevin Doyle. Doyle almost got the better of Leg. Backing Leg up was Barrett. Akinfenwa. Certainly knows where the goal is. Adebayo Akinfenwa. Northampton fans will testify to that. Sacco. There's Lee Griffiths. Moving the ball on nicely to Goldburn. Goldburn's cross, but no takers. So Kenny Jackett making another switch here, and it's Jake Cassidy, who has been starting in recent weeks. He comes on to replace Kevin Doyle. Cassidy is yet to score for Wolves. It did know the way to goal at Tranmere during a loan spell last season. He is on, and off goes Doyle.
Jake Cassidy yet to score this season. A good time to start.
He's a big presence. And he needs a goal. And Wolves need a goal here. Goldburn. There's Cassidy. Jacobs. There's McDonald. McDonald, Griffiths in space here. Able to really put the ball where he wanted it with the control, but he did manage to redeem the situation. But now Gillingham will clear and look for Akinfenwa.
It's happened time and time again for Wolves. It's either the quality of the final pass or the quality of the first touch. It's really costing them.
Jacobs. Repelled this time by Barrett. There's Dack. Dack again. Now Harriman. Harriman away from McDonald's. Nice to get the cross in. Big shot of handball against Goulburn. Only from the Gillingham fans at the Rainham end than the players. McDonald. There's Griffiths. Golban. It's Jacobs.
There's a handball shout as the ball gets crossed by Harriman. Is it a handball? There's absolutely nothing in that whatsoever.
There's Golban again. Now Jacobs. McDonald. This is Bart. Ricketts once again showing his versatility here tonight. More often than not used to that full-back position, but he's playing at centre-half as well. Golban. Hyman closed down quickly by Cassidy. It's Cassidy. Well, at the top of League One, Brentford are standing tall. They've carried on seamlessly since Uwe Rosler left for Wigan. That's credit to the Brentford players and the staff, and also Rosler, what he put in place there. Orient are still there in third, they're not going away. Preston have powered their way into the top four, and they're next for Wolves. Hessenthaler. This is Dak. And 12 minutes to play. Who dares wins this now at the Priestfield? Harriman. McDonald being took back there by Akinfenwa. There's Sacco. Can this left-hand side be a side of profit for Wolves? Well, there's the answer.
Pretty much sums it up, doesn't he? A quality player in a great crossing position, just completely overhitting his cross. And we saw it in the first half, Wolves dominating the ball, but not really creating those really good opportunities they need to win the game.
There's Golban. It's Sacco. Kenny Jackett has always said that the best way to get out of the division when you've been relegated is that first season, that first year back. Get yourself out of it before you get stuck.
Well, he knows it's a long, hard season in League One. It is a real grind, and it is frustrating at times, and he will be frustrated with his side's inability to find that killer touch tonight. We have to give Gillingham credit. They've been hard to break down, and they've worked very hard off the ball.
Dak losing out, but he tried his utmost there. There goes Sacco again. Not happening for Bakary Sacco. There's Sacco. Can we find a spark here for Wolves? Golban. Gillingham have got a real shift in here to make sure they retain their focus. And he just loves to coach, Peter Taylor. Loves to work, whether it's Dartford or Bahrain. He's seen plenty and done plenty. And will forever be known as the man who made David Beckham England captain. And of course took Leicester City to the top of the Premier League. And first time around here, just the 1 year here, but quite a year, he took Gillingham into the second tier of English football for the first time in their history. And this is Danny Kedwell! And that's how close Gillingham were to striking at the heart of Wolves here.
Well, he is so unfortunate, does pretty much everything right. Great strength for the centre forward and a brilliant strike. McCary beating all ends up, and so unfortunate to see it come back off the post.
There's Jacobs. Wolves stung into action at the other end, but a terrific effort from Kedwell.
Well, this is all that Gillingham are playing for, really. Try and hold firm, and then just one opportunity down the other end. But with the outside of the boot, that is quite brilliant. Just a couple of inches more inside that post, and it's in the far corner. Great strength, great technique. He's so unlucky.
He's useful at the other end as well, defending set pieces, and that's what he's having to do here. Sacco beaten to the punch by Cody McDonald. But Danny Kedwell almost won it for his club, his town, his team.
Well, you have to remember he's not fully fit, playing with a hernia problem, but he just continues to chase lost causes. He shouldn't get to this ball. He shows great strength and great awareness. And he's just so unlucky. McCary nowhere near it, just needs that ball to bend ever so slightly more. And Gillingham would take the lead.
It's for moments like that, which is why his hernia surgery has been postponed. Second time it's been postponed now. Griffiths thought he was away, but he impeded Martin. Brian having a conversation there with Kevin McDonald, who we think may have said something untoward.
It's just frustration. We've seen it with Sacco and now with McDonald. They're just really unhappy about the way the game has gone. They've had the majority of the ball, but not had that killer touch. I think the Wolves players just starting to show their frustration towards the referee.
Leg, the target. McCary's come a long way. He's still going. He's come away with the ball. There's Griffiths. Faced by Harriman. Griffiths cross. Three waiting there for Wolves, but managed to miss all of them. Cassidy. He's lost out to Dak.
He will make a difference, Lee Griffiths. We know he's got goals in him. He's a positive player. He will get into wide areas and flash crosses in. He does everything right there. He's just hoping for the support from the midfield to get there a little bit sooner.
We said at the start of the night that Wolves were never going to power their way through this division week after week. It would be difficult spells. It's just the pressure is on them to win game after game. Scott Goldman has admitted that. He says he's never been at a club where that has been expected week in, week out.
Well, the teams playing against Wolves aren't going to lie down and be beaten. So Wolves are having to work very hard to win every single game that they do in League One. And same is really true tonight of Gillingham, how hard they've worked off the ball. It's probably their highlight of the season, playing Wolves.
Sacco. Held up by Harriman for now. Can he outwit him? Dig the cross out again, though, too close to Nelson.
The Wolves are doing the right thing. They're getting the ball into wide areas, looking to stretch this Gillingham defence. Once again, the quality of the cross is simply not good enough.
Covey. Down at the bottom, we mentioned Gillingham are 2 points above the drop right now. Sheffield United have managed to steer themselves out of trouble. They're out of the bottom four. Bottom four at the moment made up of Crewe, Bristol City, Notts County and Stevenage, who are rock bottom right now. If they hold on to a point here, this will do Gillingham's confidence the world of good. The problem for them, and it will become jittery around here in the next few minutes, is that they have conceded late goals.
Yeah, this is a much better point for Gillingham than it is for Wolves.
Sacco. He's just about to keep his balance there. Jacobs. Behind him, breaking up play again, was Gregory. He was up. McDonald. There's Golden. McDonald looking to open doors again. Jacobs. Jacobs looking for Griffiths. Fabulous stop from Nelson, but the flag is up. Great save in any case. Lovely football.
It's a brilliant ball from Jacobs, and Griffiths, as he tends to do, just playing on the shoulder of defenders. I'll tell you what, he's unlucky to be flagged offside. Stuart Nelson didn't know that the flag had gone up, and terrific save. Really, Griffiths should be going back across goal. The flag had gone up anyway, but still a really smart stop from the Gillingham keeper.
He's been at Wolves a couple of years now, but when Wolves were struggling last season, he was scoring goal after goal in Scotland. His boyhood club, Hibs. He has been in the goals this season, Lee Griffiths. I mentioned earlier, Kenny Jackett is still looking for that combination with a cutting edge up front. Sacco. That's Goldman. Jacobs. Again, there's that angle ball, and Nelson was out of his goal. His defenders may have got him off the hook here. Jacobs once again threatening for Wolves. Akinfenwa holding off Danny Bart. Bart did well.
We're into the final couple of minutes, but Gillingham can't allow their concentration to slip. All it takes is a second, and Wolves will open the scoring here. And Jake Cassidy is a big presence. It's just all about the quality of the forward ball. And it is a decent one. Ricketts does really well. Just Cassidy caught on his heels slightly, and Gillingham just about managed to clear the danger.
Now just over a minute left to play. Andy, who's your Sky Bet man of the match?
Well, one player that's really stood out a mile for me is Kevin McDonald in central midfield for Wolves. It's been a difficult night with the conditions, but he's been elegant in possession, hardly given the ball away. He's got that vision to play good forward passes as well, and I think he'll be most disappointed. He's done everything right tonight, and I don't think he'll be happy with the point it looks like Wolves are going to get.
Akinfenwa has had a few words to say to Mark Brown about that decision.
I'm presuming it's just his challenge again. He's called over the Gillingham captain, just have a word with him as well. We saw Akinfenwa collide with Elakobi earlier. He's just jumping into the back of centre halves, and the referee, that's clearly what he's unhappy about. You can see that Akinfenwa's looking at the ball. It's the worst challenge you've ever seen, so a word is just enough.
Yeah, I think Akinfenwa had a word or two as well. Into 2 additional minutes, 0-0 here at the Priestfield. Gillingham, remember, very rarely keep clean sheets. 1 in their last 17, so if they hold on to this, that will please him immensely. They've had a bit more of a threat about them in the second half, particularly when Dak came on and Akinfenwa. So Wolves, what will Kenny Jackett take from this?
I think he'll be disappointed. We could be critical of Wolves. They've dominated possession. We've seen that in the last few games from them. They've just not had those killer touches to kill teams off, and that will really disappoint the Wolves boss. It's very tight at the top of League One. In games like this, when you're on top, you need to win, but give Gillingham credit, worked very, very hard, and that Kedwell shot could easily have won the game for them.
It's been that kind of second half for Bakary Sacco. Can be erratic at times, but there will be interest this month. No question about that. Forest, remember, had a couple of bids turned away by Wolves in the summer. Well, there could be a chance late on here for Gillingham.
What an opportunity this is. You've got to just fizz this in right underneath the crossbar. You have to test Aaron McCary here, surely.
The Rainham end expects here. Final chance, maybe. It's pinging around. McDonald! Gillingham have knocked Wolves clean off their feet. And they are dancing in Wolverhampton Wanderers' faces. The big scalp, the big result is on here.
Oh, Peter Taylor, cool as you like, but if there's one player in a Gillingham shirt that they want the ball to break to, it's Cody McDonald. He's had very little to feed off in the game, but when it breaks his way, look how alive he is. And he keeps it on target, and importantly, he keeps it down. He doesn't panic, he doesn't lean back, gets over the ball and absolutely buries it. And this is all Gillingham are waiting for. One good opportunity to fall to their key striker, and they've won the game.
Cody McDonald, once again a Gillingham player. He has once again found the back of the net. The man who was let go by Coventry City has pounced. Wolves have very little time to respond here. McDonald. Danny Barty's forward. He wins the flick. Barrett will try and clear, and does just that. It's a famous night for Gillingham. The mighty Wolves have been beaten at the Priestfield. They missed the chance to go top of Sky Bet League One, and Gillingham are upwardly mobile. Cody McDonald has written his name up in lights. He's the headline maker, but Peter Taylor's team, they have snatched it right to the death.
Well, this is what can happen. You can be on top, you can dominate possession, but if you don't take your chances when they come along, you can really be punished. And Cody McDonald, it's an excellent finish. I feel it looks fairly simple, he makes it look simple, but under severe pressure he absolutely buries it. Give Gillingham huge credit. They stuck at it, defended in numbers. They were just waiting for one chance to win the game, and they took it.
Well, Gillingham have been hit by late goals from set pieces this season, and then they produce a late goal of their own to win a game like this on a night like this for Gillingham. What will that do for them?
Well, it's a massive boost. I think picking up a point in a game, considering the way the game had gone as well, a point was a huge one for Gillingham. But to win the game is absolutely extraordinary. Cody McDonald will make the headlines, but you have to look at that Gillingham back four. Harriman, Legg, Barrett and Martin, they worked tirelessly to keep Wolves out. A real team effort.
The Priestfield is partying. Let's hear from the man who set the party going, Cody McDonald. He's with David Craig.
Cody, congratulations. Was your goal the reward for an all-round good team performance tonight?
Yeah, the lads were brilliant tonight. You know, I think a lot of people had Wolves to go out and win that game, but you know, it shows what spirit the lads have showed tonight, and we've gone out and got a great result.
The manager said before the game he felt things were improving here. Is that a sign of that improvement now this evening?
Definitely. You know, in the past it's been us conceding the late goals, but tonight we showed great character, and makes a change for us to get the late goal and good 3 points.
Conditions were advertised as difficult this evening. I dare say you would say they were perfect now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I suppose. You know, it was hard. You know, the wind's really strong out there, and the pitch was a bit boggy, but you know, yeah, you could say the conditions were in our favour at the end. I'm sure that a lot of their players ain't played in conditions like this, and yeah, great 3 points by the lads.
What does this result do for confidence with regard to your aim in staying in this division, having beaten a side that's pushing for promotion to the Championship?
Yeah, great confidence. You know, we've got a big game next week against Colchester now, but no, it's just massive 3 points. If we wouldn't have won today, we'd have only come out of the Christmas period with just 1 point, which wouldn't have looked great, but 4 points out of 3 games, not too bad, so we're happy with that.
Cody, well done. Go and enjoy the celebration.
Much. Cheers.
So the Gillingham fans are smiling after that late winner for Cody McDonald here at the Priestfield Stadium. 1-0 Gillingham have beaten Wolves. It's a result that leaves Wolves in second position, 3 points off the leaders Brentford. Wolves have played a game more as well, so that denies them top spot, that victory. As for Gillingham, well, they move up the table. They move up to 14th, and they're now 5 points clear of the relegation zone. A fantastic result then for Gillingham. Tonight on Sky Sports 2, catch up with all the action from the Ashes, with Ashes Extra from 10:30. And from 11, you'll be able to see live Day 2 action of this final 5th Test between Australia and England. Now on Sky Sports 4, you can see the Tournament of Champions. On the way, we will get the thoughts of Matt Murray on that late winner for Gillingham, who've moved further clear of the bottom four after a late winner. Exciting year ahead, and we've had excitement here, late drama here at the Priestfield as Gillingham beat Wolves to deny Kenny Jackett's side top spot in League One. What a time for Gillingham to score in 2 minutes of added-on time as well.
Yeah, from a Gillingham point of view, it was absolutely magnificent. Wolves didn't have any chance to get back at them, and to be fair to them, I thought in the second half Gillingham did really well. I thought the change, the introduction of Dak, the change of the system, mate, had a real impact, and so did Akinfenwa coming on, and I don't think you can really begrudge Gillingham nicking it there at the end.
Could Wolves, though, be aggrieved at a possible handball that then led to the corner and then goal?
I think it'd be very soft. Yes, it probably does come off Akinfenwa's arm, but he's right next to Goldburn. You don't see any players appealing for it. He's not meant to do it. No players really appealing. Then it does go out for the corner. But at the end of the day, you've still got to defend the corner properly. It's a good ball in, drops down, a little bit of luck, ricochets off the legs of Ricketts, but McDonald's there on the spot, deep into stoppage time, hard and low, just drills it in there, and it's a good finish from him. You feel for a young Aaron McCary because he's done well. He hadn't really put a foot wrong, lost his clean sheet, and from Wolves thinking probably going to be disappointed with a point, they're getting nothing, and from a Gillingham point of view, they're absolutely ecstatic now, and that's what you have to do. If you stay in games and all it takes is set piece or something, and you can nick it at the end, and it was a good ball in, and you look at the celebration there, look at it from Cody McDonald, you can see what it means to him. The stadium erupts, and that's a massive 3 points now in their battle against relegation.
But Wolves, of course, had plenty of opportunities in this game to score. Why were they not able to score?
Well, I think in the first half, Wolves, I think they only worked Nelson once seriously when he made the low-down save, but they got into good positions. In the second half, they got in good positions. I mean, here was Sacco, the first one he's playing up front. He gets there, Gillingham backed off, puts it just wide. Some great balls into the air, and I think Wolves all throughout the game, they got in good positions, but the final ball was either they tried to be a bit too precise and try and walk the ball in, or there weren't bodies quite in the box. I mean, there you have to, brilliant play from Jacobs, and what I say from Nelson. But in the second half, I think they only really tested Nelson seriously, with a really big save. When Griffiths was flagged for offside, but I don't think he was. And you can see here, to be fair to Gillingham, they've kept their banks of form. A lot of the shots have been from distance. They've been disciplined, they've worked hard, stayed together, showed that team spirit. Again, Saka, I thought, could have maybe got his shot off a little bit earlier there, but look at the block from Gillingham, getting out to him, closing him down again, 2 banks of 4. Good ball in, and that's where I'd like to see Cassidy just getting in there. It's a good ball in. Ricketts has done really well to put it into a dangerous area, and I think a natural goal scorer isn't on his heels, is in there, maybe looking to tap it in, but that's what Gillingham did well. They kept in the game and kept it tight.
How much of a concern will it be for Kenny Jackett, the fact that Wolves haven't won away from home since mid-November? Well,
I think the reason that Wolves were up near the top of the league was because of the the away form. They had been absolutely brilliant on the road. I think in 7 games they'd only dropped 2 points, but recently away from home they've lost a lot of points. They had a draw at Rotherham, did well to battle back into that, but they dropped points at Tranmere, and a lot of games have. If you speak to all the Wolves fans, you speak to the players, they've created chances, they've got in the positions, but they haven't taken them. But end of the day, they're still only, it was a great chance to go top today, but they're still in there second behind Brentford. It's not a disaster, but from a Wolves point of view, you can't lose too many more points when you're dominating games. They've got Preston next, which is going to be a tough game there, just below Wolves, and then after that, they've got to run against the teams that they would be expecting to pick up maximum points.
Well, of course, it is Gillingham that have come away with the 3 points this evening here at the Priestfield. What does that mean for Gillingham? Let's get the thoughts of Peter Taylor.
Peter, congratulations. Was that the very best way to celebrate your birthday today?
Well, we've conceded so many late goals. I think we need to score that late to get a win, But I think, as people would have seen, we know we're not the best team in the division, but we also know we have to graft for everything. And I think that's what the players done tonight.
You talked before the game about recent signs of improvement in your form. Did we see further evidence of that this evening?
I think so. I think there's times where you see that we had no confidence on the ball, but there's also at the right times we then did have confidence on the ball, and I think then we played a little bit more football. So I think we are progressing, but it was never going to happen straight away.
In recent weeks, you've had a lot of problems defending, particularly from set pieces. Did you see an improvement there as well tonight?
Well, we knew how good Wolves are, the delivery and the movement of the big players. We knew we had to do well. It's the first clean sheet that we've had since I've been at the club, so I'm really, really pleased with that. And I think they made some good decisions, and Wolves are a good team.
What does this do for confidence, beating a side that are pushing for automatic promotion?
Well, nobody would expect us to beat a club like Wolves, so that's good for the players. I'm sure they'll have the nice weekend off on the strength of being here quite a bit, and I'm sure they'll look forward to Monday morning.
And does it give you confidence for your agenda of staying in this division this year?
Well, it's certainly done us no harm tonight, because we probably wouldn't expect to get 3 points against Wolves, so we're pleased with that.
And we started the evening talking about your friendship with Kenny Jackett. Do you think he'll be sharing a drink with you?
I certainly hope so, and I'd be surprised if not.
Peter, well done. Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
So it is a great night for Gillingham and Peter Taylor. They move up from 17th to 14th and crucially now are 5 points clear of the relegation zone. And it's a victory for Gillingham that has denied Wolves the opportunity of reclaiming top spot. They stay in second, 3 points off the league leaders, Brentford. Matt Murray, Wolves in second. Do you think they're feeling the pressure at the moment?
There's a lot of expectation on Wolves, obviously back-to-back relegation. So in this league, they're a big scalp. They've got an expensive squad. So teams will lift it when Wolves are in town. But the way they started the season, you wouldn't think the pressure was getting to them. But tonight, I don't know, it just was that little bit of quality in the final third. I think Wolves really, really do need a goal scorer. But say Gillingham keeping a clean sheet, they'll be buzzing, and this makes a change of them scoring the late goals instead of the opposition. But Kenny Jackett will still keep the lads positive and just dust them down, and still all in a great position. An automatic promotion is Wolves' aim at the start of the season.
Well, next up for Wolves in the league, it's a tough fixture for them. Preston at home, followed by Crawley away, Bristol City, Oldham, Bradford and Stevenage. But what a game for them to come against Preston, who are in playoff contention. Yeah,
well, Preston are doing really well at the moment. They've got a good squad. They've got the likes of Kevin Davis there. He's an experienced striker. Wolves played them on the first game of the season, drew 0-0. But Wolves need to be winning their home games. But then you look into the run of games after that and you're thinking, Crawley, Bristol City are right down there, Oldham, Stevenage as well. So Gillingham will be hoping that Wolves get on a little run and take some of those points. But as Wolves in this league, they will be expecting to beat them. So with the window opening, you wonder if Wolves will bring any players in. I wouldn't be surprised if a goal scorer was on Kenny Jackett's shopping list. Kevin Phillips he's on the lips of all the Wolves fans, so I'm sure they'd like to see someone like him coming into the building.
What about a goalkeeper? We started the night knowing that Wayne Hennessy didn't want to play in this game, and Aaron McCary came in instead. What do you think the reaction's going to be this evening to the fact that he didn't want to play?
Well, I mean, you feel for Wayne because he's come through the system. He had a long-term injury, did his cruise ship twice. Wolves stood by him, got him fit. So the fans were saying, well, hang on a minute, we stood by you. You should have wanted to play. They didn't want to play. I just can't believe Wayne said, I won't play. If the question was asked, is your head, fully with it? If you're being a bit distracted about someone putting a bid for you, then, maybe I could understand him saying that, and that's why they went with Aaron. Aaron has showed tonight, though, that he can deal with it. He can cope with playing at this level, did well on loan. Carl Hakimi, who's been excellent for Wolves, him and Danny Bart probably been the two up there for player of the season, but yeah, maybe an experienced keeper coming in. You don't know, there'll be one in there on loan, but at the moment, Aaron's got the shirt and it's up to him to keep it, and I thought he did well tonight.
OK, Matt Murray, appreciate your thoughts this evening. Keith Gillespie is joining Paul Merson and Fenners for the Fantasy Football Club. That's next for you on Sky Sports 1. So on a cold, wet and blustery evening, it was Gillingham that came up smelling of roses in England's garden.
But what could be more beautiful than a weekend in the rain? The moment that you realise that you're on your own again, on your own again. Oh, give it all up, the sun has set. No one's coming to rescue you. Oh, give it all up, the sun has set. You know that guy is wrong for you. I thought it was the weekend, but where are all my friends? It's Friday night. Don't ever let it end.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.